What's good, everybody? SummerSlam Night 2 concluded, and man, that was one crazy main event between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Probably one of the best main events I've seen in uh, in a long time, or at least in SummerSlam, because goddamn, they gave us a lot of good stuff in that match to enjoy. But we will be going over that later on, and a lot of the things that went down here on night two of SummerSlam. We're going to cover that as well. We got new champions, another return because how Tommy said this is SummerSlam, which means a lot of people return in SummerSlam, and one hell of a major return occurred on night two. So I'm really excited to hear what you guys thought about it, if you guys enjoyed it, and all that good stuff. And to help me, the Snug crew, Tommy and Toxic, are here. Welcome, fellas. How are y'all feeling now that SummerSlam is all set and done?
I'm doing great. SummerSlam in its whole it was amazing. I enjoyed every match except for maybe one ish. I mean, all the matches were good. It's just not even some of them. It was like two that was hard to keep focus and not keep focus, but like be entertained to, if that makes sense. But I enjoyed night two is just as much as I enjoyed night one. Night one was crazy, and then night
Mhm.
two was crazier. So I had a good time watching SummerSlam, and I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, night two, even like at the very, very beginning of the show, in which I'm not going to spoil that, but that start, I legitimately, my girlfriend was sleeping directly next to me. I slightly woke her up, and by the time it happened, I looked at her. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go out in the living room, let you sleep a little bit. Because, yeah, if this is how this is going to start, this show is going to be insane. And boy, was it. This show entirely was absolutely phenomenal head to top, and I love it.
Yeah, it was. I think I enjoyed night two a lot more than night one, um, because I was only like not just watching it like in the comfort of my own home for night two. Yesterday, I watched it with other people, and it's not the same. Like because I'm socializing, I'm not really focusing on the show. So that was me night one. Night two, I was at home and I was focused and I was paying attention to everything. So I think that played a big part in me enjoying night two. But I think night two was a lot better than night one. But let's get into it. They started off with Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn, the number one contenders, right? And they started off with a huge bang, huge announcements, and a lot of weird things happened in this opening match. So you have Finn, you have Sami. Both of these guys feel like they deserve justice. Finn Balor was forced to relinquish the Universal Championship over 10 years ago and has never been able to get another world title ever since then. And then you have Sami Zayn. He feels like he's been screwed unfairly from his championship. So both of these guys want to make things right for each other in this match. It's a number one contenders match, but Nick Aldis comes out and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're not actually, this is going to be a triple threat match. And out comes Gunther. Now, Nick Aldis was reinstated as general manager, and his first decision is to put the guy that he's been feuding with, the guy that defeated him at night one, he adds Gunther to a match, and we're thinking this is going to be a triple threat match. Gunther and Nick Aldis shake hands. They was like some weird agreement. They're apparently on the same page. I'm not sure what that was about. But then Nick Aldis doesn't stop there. He's like, this isn't a triple threat. This is going to be a fatal four way. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, who could this be, right? And I'm thinking, oh man, this better be something good. And hopefully it's not a letdown or a disappointment. But it was Kevin Owens. Now, the reports were saying that Kevin Owens was spotted in Minnesota before the show. I didn't really think he was going to come back, but he came back 17 months later. It's good to see Kevin Owens back. Sami Zayn looked like he saw a ghost. He was shocked. Literally, his mouth dropped to the floor because he couldn't believe what he was seeing. And there was a lot of fans that were genuinely crying in the arena because there was some people believe that Kevin Owens might not actually ever be able to wrestle, but he came back and it meant a lot to the fans. It meant a lot to Kevin Owens. So we have a fatal four-way match. This is Gunther's second match of the weekend. Gunther wrestled on both nights of SummerSlam, which is crazy to think about. And to make matters even worse for Sami, at least, Kevin Owens wins the fatal four-way. He's the number one contender for the Undisputed Championship. He hit a Stone Cold Stunner on his buddy Sami Zayn. And of all people, Sami Zayn was the one that got pinned. But what a crazy way to kick off night 2 for SummerSlam.
I was excited for Finn versus Sammy until Gunther was at it. I was like, fuck, they're gonna give it to him because he literally gets everything. Because and then when all this is like, oh no, this is a fatal four-way. I was like, okay, well, it's probably got to be Royce Keys because I mean he was screwed out of a match too. He was screwed out of an opportunity to be in this match right here. That's how Finn Balor got into this match. But I popped big for Kevin Owens. I said, holy fucking shit, Kevin Owens is back. I have missed Kevin for so long. He's one of the two people that I miss a lot right now. That other one being Bronson Reed. Get back, please. I miss you. Anyways, yeah. This match was amazing. I added in my prediction that I wanted Kevin to win, not like when we did predictions, but in my head. But I wanted him and Finn Balor to win because I mean, yeah. But he looked amazing in the ring. Like there was no fucking ring rust whatsoever. I mean, my God, what a fucking way to kick off night 2. Off even after night 1 was just as great. SummerSlam has been amazing, like I said, and I'm happy he won this match. We will eventually get Finn and Punk, I feel, in a match, but not now. And I'm looking forward to Punk and Kevin Owens, and I think they have some history on the Indies. So, welcome back, Kevin Owens.
It seems I started writing my notes a little bit too early because when I put this on, I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? Why was Gunther added to this match all of a sudden? And then he said fatal four-way. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Then it was Kevin Owens. I'm just like, yes, let's fucking go. A buddy of mine I was messaging last night said that he thought that Kevin Owens was going to return tonight, and I did not see where fully he would return. But the fact that they started off this damn show with a fucking massive return like that with Kevin Owens, yes, fucking please. Holy shit. That was a phenomenal start to this. I will gladly remind you, this man just came back from neck surgery. It did not look like he just came back from neck surgery because this man was flying around like there was no damn tomorrow to the point where Sami Zayn was standing there 3 minutes into this match where he was just standing there in the corner for like 3 minutes straight. But I'm also slightly watching the post show as well on the side. And Kevin Owens legitimately just said that there was a point where he didn't think he would be able to come back from it. That he just didn't think originally that it was possible. But overall, he just did not want to accept it. Not once did he accept that he wouldn't be able to come back. So there is that. So happy that Kevin Owens is back. But I just feel bad for Finn Balor. He's been fighting and scratching for 10 fucking years to get another shot at a world title and fully get that in his hands. And every single time he gets so damn close to getting that sucker in the palm of his hands before it's ripped out from under him. So I really, really hope that within the next couple of years, they finally put that world title back on Finn Balor.
Yeah, and it looks like SmackDown is going to be a lot more interesting now that Randy Orton is back and Kevin Owens is back. I wonder what's going to happen with Sami Zayn. Are we going to see another feud between Kevin and Sami after Kevin Owens basically stole Sami's opportunity to get his title back? I'm pretty sure Sami's not going to sit around for that. Maybe that's what causes Sami Zayn to finally turn full-blown heel. Is he going to snap at Kevin Owens? We'll see. That's going to be really, really good. Speaking of surprises and speaking of really good, we got a new United States champion. Baron Corbin defeated Trick Williams unexpectedly. I got to be honest. I was not seeing this go down the way that it did because Baron Corbin just came back. This is his first match back, official WWE match on TV. It was at SummerSlam for a title, and he wins it. Baron Corbin looked this like a different version of Baron Corbin that I'm not used to seeing, really. He was a lot more vicious in this match. Commentary really put him over like a shoot badass. They listed all of his accolades outside of pro wrestling and all the things that he's been doing. He's won all these gold medals, and they're really presenting Baron Corbin as a really serious threat here. And he defeated a fan favorite in Trick Williams, and the fans were not happy about that. I gotta say, man, I'm pretty shocked about this. But what did you guys think?
I want to start off by being a music nerd real quick, and talk about Baron's theme song. I really enjoy it, and it matches his blah, blah. It matches his aesthetic or like character or gimmick. Like he's taken a break. He's refined himself or whatever you want to call it. But I really enjoyed how Baron wrestled in this match, especially for how long he's been away from WWE, which is I don't know how long. Uh, but I was confused on why the ref had the gloves on, like someone were to get busted open. I might have not have caught it, but I couldn't see any color on Baron or Trick, so I was really confused. Another thing I'm confused about is Trick's role in this story. Well, it doesn't really matter now that it's probably over. Hopefully not. But Trick's role in this entire story, he's a tweener, obviously. He acts heel, acts face, but and he's the face in this story. But tweeners I'm pretty sure tweeners still at least show some of the other role when in a story. But regardless of that, I enjoyed this match and didn't expect Baron to win or for Trick's title reign to end here. For some reason, it felt like it shouldn't have ended here. But on the plus side, we don't have to see that furry United States Championship again.
I mean, yeah, but my biggest problem is what the fuck do you do with Baron Corbin as champion? That's the biggest thing, is that I feel like there was more going on with Trick Williams as United States champion, and I just don't know what direction they're going to end up going with Baron Corbin as United States champion. As good as it is to see him back, I just don't see the direction they can go with this right now. But why are we giving Trick Williams a new custom title if he was going to lose it 3 weeks later? It makes no sense to me on why in the world they did that, because at that point, giving him a custom title was just overall completely pointless. But still, Baron Corbin is United States champion, and we'll see overall where he goes with this and see how this reign goes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell like what direction they're going to take this new title reign to because like we said, he just got here. We don't really know what's going to happen with Baron Corbin or we're just learning this new version of Baron Corbin, but from what I'm seeing, he's a dangerous Baron Corbin. He's a Baron Corbin that is not going to be fucking around. So whatever they end up doing with Baron Corbin, it doesn't look like it's going to be easy for whoever wants to, challenge for that United States title. But I'm interested because it's going to be a major shift in the title in the U.S. title scene because you got Trick Williams who he's like this flashy, he's cocky, he talks a lot of smack, and then you go to Baron Corbin now, who's a lot more serious. He's not as flashy. He's more like a straight shooter. But yeah, the moment in that match, Toxic, that you're talking about, there was a point in the match where Baron Corbin was just wailing on Trick Williams, like hitting those elbows back to back to back. I think maybe Baron Corbin got Trick Williams either like on the lip or like on the nose because after that, you can see like Trick Williams wiping his face with his hand, and you can see a little bit of color on his hand, but it wasn't anything too serious.
Yeah, I probably didn't catch that because I was writing notes.
I also do feel bad for Little Yachty as well because that man did not go through that table. That man landed on that table and nothing happened to that damn table.
Yeah, Little Yachty was there. I believe he's from Minnesota, Little Yachty, and the entrance that they had for Little Yachty was one of his songs called Minnesota. So I thought it fit perfectly that they were in that city, in Lil Yachty's home city, with his own, anthem that he created. I thought it was I thought it was really cool to see Lil Yachty at this SummerSlam. But yeah, he took a major, ugly bump on the table. Yeah, man. I hope he's all right. But that's basically what led to Baron Corbin winning the United States title. That little distraction by Lil Yachty, that miscommunication between Trick and Yachty. Baron Corbin took advantage, and boom, we get a new U.S. champion. Like, man, that was crazy. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Baron Corbin now that he's new U.S. champion over on SmackDown. But yeah, man, SmackDown is going to be changing a lot. We got new U.S. champion. Randy's back. Kevin Owens is back. And we also got a new interim women's champion over there on SmackDown as well. We had Tiffany Stratton, we had Lash Legend, Charlotte, Jade Cargill, and Chelsea Green in a women's ladders match for the interim championship. This is the vacant title that Rhea Ripley had to vacate due to injury. But in the meantime, while we wait for Rhea Ripley to come back, they're going to crown a new interim champion. And when Rhea comes back, Rhea's going to challenge the interim champion, the winner of this ladder match, which was Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green finally did it. She got a huge pop. The people were so happy to see Chelsea Green win the interim women's championship. And it kind of reminded me of when Matt Cardona, who just so happens to be her husband, won the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. I'm sorry, it was WrestleMania, not SummerSlam. Also in the ladders match. So I thought like that was it was a really good moment. That Chelsea had to experience that for herself, kind of like Matt Cardona did. What was it, like 10 years ago or something crazy like that? But it was well deserved, man. The ladder match itself, they did a lot of good spots, a lot of entertaining moments, a lot of memorable moments. I thought I really enjoyed this ladder match a lot more than I expected, and it could be because of the outcome. Was the outcome that I predicted that I wanted to see. I wanted to see Chelsea Green win it, and she did.
So something happened to my notes on this match, but I think I remember them all pretty well. First off, every woman in this match had great gear, from Charlotte's gear that would represent. I'm pretty sure her name was Scarlett, the girl that had cancer. Yeah. And then Jade, Jade's gear representing Prince, the guy that made Purple Rain, and then Tiffany with the Minnesota Vikings colors on. But that doesn't matter. All of the gears were great. The match was overall a great match. It's a ladder match. There's always some random bullshit happening. But the one part that scared me the most was when Lash and Tiffany were in the corner and there was a ladder under them. And Tiffany went to go do a Hurricane Rana, but Lash countered into a power bomb onto that ladder. And just hearing Tiffany, that just that looked like it hurt like hell. But I am so fucking glad they did it. They gave it to Chelsea, but at what cost? Because she has Rhea Ripley to deal with when she comes back, if she can hold it that long. I hope she can, and I hope that she can beat Rhea Ripley for this. I hope they. I mean, it's all possible. But I am so happy they pulled the trigger, and congratulations, Chelsea Green.
As scared as I was for that power bomb spot, there's one that I was a little bit more terrified with. That drop from Charlotte off, like when she was hanging from that hook where that title was, and she dropped onto Lash Legend and Jade Cargill. I was terrified with that because I'm like, holy shit, that is no. That is absolutely terrifying to watch. But I do love Charlotte's gear for Scarlett because her and Scarlett were very, very close before this kid died, unfortunately, due to one of the worst ways to go, which is cancer. Fuck that shit. But overall, you've also got Chelsea Green and them finally pulling the trigger on that. I'm like, yes, so happy with that. Even though I had my prediction set as Charlotte for it, my close second was Chelsea Green because I just really wanted them to pull the trigger on it, especially with the fact that on Unreal, they full on said that Chelsea was the girl that everybody kind of had to step over to fully get to the top of the mountain. So there was that being said, and there you go. They pulled the trigger, made her the interim women's champion. Although, unfortunately, I don't think she's getting through Rhea Ripley. There's just no way, unfortunately.
Well, we will see about that. I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen in, from now to when Rhea Ripley comes back because I mean, I'm hoping that the WWE realizes like, hey, Chelsea Green is or should be the face of the women's division. As great as Rhea Ripley is, I hope that Chelsea Green proves those WWE executives wrong and really puts over that title, and maybe they change plans and they decide, you know what? We're going to run with Chelsea Green to be the real WWE Women's Champion. That's what I'm hoping for. But we shall see. Somebody who really deserves a WWE Championship is very nice, very evil, and very over. Danhausen and Dominik Mysterio went one-on-one in a Money's in the Pole match, human Money's in the Pole match. And I know, I'm just kidding, but hear me out. Hear me out. I mean, we kind of all knew how this match was going to go, right? There was going to be some shenanigans, there was going to be some silliness, and there's going to be some chaos, right? We got the interference from J.D. McDonough, the mini Hausens, the Torito Hausens, the goofy, funny spot in the corner where, Danhausen curses Dom, and then the corner explodes, and you get the pyro, and Danhausen wins, right? But before all of that, Dominik and Danhausen were actually wrestling. Danhausen was having a competitive wrestling match with Dominik Mysterio for about 2 minutes. So we got to give a little credit to Danhausen because he did hold his own versus the king of the luchadors, the greatest Mysterio of all time, the AAA mega champion, the son of Eddie Guerrero, his favorite son. And yeah, man, I mean, I know if Mr. Blood was here, he was gonna shit all over this, but for what it was, I thought this was pretty entertaining.
I thought it was just going to be a regular one-on-one. I didn't see the stipulation, but as I saw it when it showed up, I was like, on a pole. How are you supposed to climb a pole? I thought that the pole was going to be dead in the middle of the ring. How are you supposed to climb that unless you're a professional pole climber or some shit like that? But that was my thoughts before the match started. Um, yeah, it made sense that I was probably overthinking it, but it's a unique match stipulation. I mean, on a pole, people were thinking Rhea and Liv should do that for custody of Dom. So yeah, but it's a unique match stipulation. The match, it was just a comedy match, but I didn't really expect much from it. It was funny as fuck. But like how Michael Cole, I like how Michael Cole makes fun of JD's head every single time he does a headbutt. That's just a massively large head. But it wasn't a surprise that Joe Hendry was coming to help Danhausen, but I gotta agree, this was a pretty entertaining match.
Yeah, it was entertaining. I'm gonna be blood real quick. This match, unfortunately for me, and I love Danhausen. I have absolutely put Danhausen over every single time I see him on my screen. But this match for me was underwhelming as underwhelming can be. It was entertaining, I'll give it that, and I will gladly give Danhausen his flowers for being able to have a competitive match for a short amount of time with Dominik Mysterio. I will gladly give him that. But there was just too much going on with me. Like, the Mini-Hausens getting involved. Of course, JD had to get involved. Joe Hendry got involved. All of this was legitimately over money that was legitimately $1 bills and a bunch of Danhausen dollars inside of that damn bag, as we found out. So, overall, I was just underwhelmed with this. Like I said, I love Danhausen, but this was just underwhelming for me.
Yeah, I think they went all out for Danhausen's last match because they brought out the basketball players and like the big box, and they did the whole reveal. They did the whole nine. That for this one for SummerSlam, they kind of focused on a little bit more of the wrestling at first. Yes, Joe Hendry was out there and stuff, but it wasn't as crazy as I expected. So I kind of get where you're coming from, Tommy. We have a good question here from EK. Sorry, I can't read your name. I don't understand what Dominik is doing. Well, Dominik Mysterio is doing his job, man. He's getting paid. He's being featured on a big SummerSlam card, even though it is versus Danhausen. But this is one of the matches that a lot of people are going to talk about the most, I feel like, compared to some of the other ones, just because it is Danhausen. And it's either, if I'm Dominik Mysterio, it's either be on the card of SummerSlam versus Danhausen. And if my other option is not to be on the card at all, I'm going to wrestle Danhausen and I'm going to get paid for it. Fuck it. I don't care. So I don't blame Dominik Mysterio for doing the best of what they're giving him. And that's really what it's all about. So Dominik Mysterio is going to be just fine. He's still AAA Mega Champion. He's going to have a big match at Triple Mania. He's a completely different character over there in Mexico. So, yeah, we'll see what ends up happening from here. What's next for Danhausen and what's next for Dominik in the main roster as well. All right, from one new champion to another new champion, Penta and Chad Gable fought for the Intercontinental Championship in Chad Gable's hometown. This was a long story between Chad and Penta, going all the way back to when Penta first debuted in the WWE. And ever since then, these two, their paths have crossed so many times in many different ways, not just in the main roster, but in AAA. And this is Chad Gable's big moment to finally win the big one, the championship that he's never been able to do it. His fans are there, his family, his friends. Is this going to be Chad Gable's moment? And I knew from the beginning this was going to be an instant classic. And it was, man. There was a moment in the match where Penta started focusing on Chad Gable's left arm. So now they're starting to set that down in is Chad Gable. Chad Gable's in trouble. Penta's working on the injured arm. But Chad Gable doesn't give up. He hits the ankle lock on Penta and makes Penta tap out in the middle of the ring. Chad Gable wins by submission, and he wins the Intercontinental Championship finally after so many years. And I thought it was a great moment. It was very emotional. You know, his family was there again. This just seemed like the perfect time for Chad Gable to win the Intercontinental Championship. And he did. Once again, the right person won, and we got a new champion here as well.
This is one of the matches I've been waiting for the most since it was announced, since Chad Gable won the gauntlet to get into this match. This is one of my most anticipated matches for SummerSlam because I like these two wrestlers. They're two of the best on the Raw roster in the mid card division, and they both deserve this championship that they're fighting for. The Intercontinental Championship is a workhorse title, meaning you're willing, if possible, to defend every single week. Penta had like what 8 defenses in the span of some amount of time. I don't know, but the point is, it's a workhorse title. Penta has proved that he is going to be a fighting champion no matter what title he gets. But Gable would also be a great fighting champion if he is a fighting champion. I like this match. It was a great match, story filled and high energy. But at the end of the day, Chad beat Penta, and congrats.
I believe counting this one, it's 10 defenses that Penta has had with this Intercontinental title. And it worked this entire match. I loved it. It was an instant classic, just like we all thought it would be. But Chad Gable 100% deserved this. He's been deserved it for a long time. So to see him finally win his first singles title that he's ever held in WWE, it is absolutely phenomenal to see. And after the match, seeing Penta's respect for Chad Gable now as he put that title around Chad Gable's waist right after the match. And then you've got that moment with Chad Gable's family, in which I absolutely love the fact that Chad Gable and his son had the matching singlets. Like, that is fucking adorable, and I love it. So he's 100% deserved it, and it was in his hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota, in which that was the perfect spot for Penta to lose the Intercontinental title to Chad Gable.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed the moment after the match where Penta did the traditional celebratory handing of the championship. Usually in Mexico, when the former champion loses the belt, it's tradition that the former champion put the belt around the waist of the new champion in the middle of the ring and lift his hand. So I thought that was a nice sign of respect that that Penta did for Chad Gable, because he does deserve it. Chad Gable deserves it. I know Penta knows that. It's Chad Gable's time now to show us what he can really do with that Intercontinental Championship, something that we all knew that he's capable of doing, Chad Gable, and now we're finally going to get to see it. So yeah, things are going to be really interesting on Monday Night Raw when it comes to that Intercontinental title scene. I mean, we got people like Javon Evans going for it, Rusev is going for it, Ethan Page is going for it, hell, even Rey Mysterio's going for it. So it's going to be good to see who they put up versus Chad Gable here in the near future for that Intercontinental Championship.
I want Chad Gable versus Ethan Page. I feel like those two and their wrestling styles just fit perfectly for a match against each other.
Yeah, I would like to see that, definitely. All right, you guys, I think it's ready to go over the main event. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Now, the mind games for Seth Rollins started way before this match even started. Hell, way before the show even started, because they played at the beginning of night 2. They play when the superstars are walking in the arena like they usually do for all their shows. Seth Rollins was wearing the Shield mask that they used to wear back when they were in the Shield. So already, Seth Rollins is playing with the people and like, oh, looky, I'm wearing the Shield stuff, right? And then for Seth Rollins' entrance, the intro starts with the Shield introduction where you hear like the security noises and the alarms of the Shield song, right? So that's another like little personal shot that Seth takes to Roman. Then they do the entrances, they get into the ring, they're doing the introductions or the weigh-ins, whatever you want to call it. And Seth Rollins he's still holding the mask from the Shield. And then he takes off the vest that Seth was wearing. It's a white vest, kind of like the ones that they used to wear back when they were in the Shield, except it was white, not black. And he offers it to Roman. Here, Roman, you want to put it on? Just like, for old time's sake, just put it on. So, they're kind of teasing that this goes back all the way to those days from when they were in the Shield, which is great, right? And they start off the match and they start fighting all over the place. They go into the crowd and the announcers put over the fact that, well, the referee's showing a lot of leniency because this is a big main event match, right? Seth Rollins, Roman puts, I think it was Seth puts Roman through the announce table first, and then Seth Rollins returns a favor right away, or the other way around. But it was a back and forth, and this match, it kind of reminded me of like the match between Cena and AJ Styles, like the perfect ending to a feud that told a great story in ring. They did a lot of good callbacks to what happened a long time ago, and they take you into like this journey, this roller coaster ride of their whole entire history together. Going back to the Shield, they paid homage to Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns hit the paradigm shift or whatever Dean Ambrose finisher was. There was a lot of false finishes, but I'm not going to really nitpick on the false finishes because, I mean, I wanted this match to keep going. This is how good it was because of the history. They told their story, their long history in this match, which I thought was amazing. And at the end of the day, this was all about one thing. Who is the number one guy in the WWE? Who is the number two guy, right? Who's the best out of these two? They even went back to the chair shot, the iconic chair shot that Seth Rollins did when the Shield broke up. Roman Reigns had the opportunity to get his revenge and hit Seth Rollins in the back with the steel chair the same way Rollins did so long ago, but Roman Reigns didn't take it because Roman Reigns wanted to prove that he can do it the right way, that he can do it on his own. He doesn't have to use a steel chair. And he didn't take it. He threw the chair down instead, which was really symbolic. Seth Rollins looked surprised by it. He turned around slowly. Man, this match was absolutely amazing. The trash talking, you can hear them. Seth Rollins telling Roman, oh, is this the part where the bloodline comes out? Is this the part where I'm going to get jumped, Roman? And Roman's like, no, this is not it. Roman accidentally spears a referee. The referee gets taken out, and everyone stands up immediately because they think someone is going to run out. Wrestling knowledge will tell you this is the moment where we get the big run-in, but it was no run-ins. This was just a one-on-one. at the end of the day, at the end of the night, Roman Reigns retained the World Heavyweight Championship. He defeated Seth Rollins and proved that he is the guy. He doesn't need anyone to do it. But I thought this was the perfect ending and tied up all those loose ends. I felt like we got closure when it comes to these two. It was absolutely amazing. This main event was just perfect, I thought.
This match was amazing, and I feel like a perfect way to close out all the Shield drama. Like, even if Ambrose returns to WWE, because I keep hearing things about his contract being up in 2027 or some shit like that. But even if he does, if he doesn't, cool. But it's just a great way to end the Shield off. I don't think we need to have another Rollins and Roman match or anything like that. It was just great itself and a great final chapter for the Shield. Rollins' gear color, like the colors for it, was interesting. He had the white, the black, the green, the pink, and I'm pretty sure there was orange in it. I'm not sure. But it was great. The entrance was also great. Um, and there was a story to it. Michael Cole was putting over on commentary this like story behind his gear or something like that. But as the match started, I started getting annoyed when they were building suspense. I'm pretty sure everyone does when it's a big match like this where they just stand there and build suspense. But getting into the match, I thought it was great. The Rollins counter to the Superman punch where he did like the spin to a spinning neck breaker, but got out of it and did a rolling forearm. I thought that was cool. Also, both Rollins and Roman doing homage to Dean Ambrose. Rollins doing that one move where Dean goes in between the middle and top rope and like does kind of like a flip but bounces back. And I'm pretty sure Roman hit the Dirty Deeds. I'm pretty sure that's the one that Snug was talking about. But it was just a great match. Uh, a lot of Fleetway, however the hell you say it. It was needed. I'm not mad at it. The match deserved it, and it was just an instant classic. But one thing that I do get why they did is they told us that this is the last thing we're hearing about the Shield, because they did the fist thing in the middle. They did that. But one thing I liked about it, because I mean, obviously couldn't be there because he's with AEW, is that Rollins had the mask and he put it in between Roman and Roman and Rollins, excuse me. He put it between them and did that, signifying that that's supposed to be Ambrose's spot, but he can't be here because he's in another company. But I think this has got to be one of the best SummerSlam main events I've ever seen. The suspense to it, the drama to it was just all so fucking perfect. Give me another match like this, but with different people.
Yeah, that ending portion right after the match, it was absolutely beautiful because from left to right, how it always has been, it goes Seth, Dean, Roman. And that's exactly why Seth put that mask right where he did, right in between them. That is to say, hey, he may not be able to be here physically, but he's here through that damn mask. Like, that's just how it is. So just to see that with Roman and the respect that he still has for Seth as his brother, no matter what, he's still going to be Roman's brother through the Shield. That's just how that's going to be. But this match, absolutely match of the fucking weekend for sure. Like, this match was absolutely phenomenal, from Seth starting with the mind games, with the mask, and with the entrance starting off with the Shield, even with like the Shield Titantron in the very beginning, like it started off with Shield and then them saying that, and then hits his regular theme. It was absolutely phenomenal. Everything with this match was perfect. I loved how this ended. And with Roman finally being able to finish the job and go, hey, I'm finally going to be able to beat you without the chair, without that, without weapons, without interference. It is me and you. That's it. And Roman even said at the top of the post show that it was always him and Roman. Even when people were running off, running out of the company, it was him and Roman that was holding the company down. It was always those two. It was always going to be those two. So overall, it just works. It fits. And this entire match was perfect. I know people wanted Dean to show up, but unfortunately, due to his AEW contract, it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, a lot of symbolism in this match. And I think it's another reason why this match was so great, because we're lucky enough to be able to hear the commentary, right? And they're explaining a lot of the things that they're doing. And you can hear a lot of the stuff that Roman and Seth are saying to each other because the cameras are so close, right? But if you're in the arena, you don't know what commentary's saying, what they're putting over, and you don't hear or you can't see what Seth and Roman are saying to each other. But even then, the story that they told in the ring, Seth and Roman, if you take all of that away, it's still easy to follow. The fans in the arena understood everything that what was happening, and they were with it the entire ride. The fans were popping for everything. You know, the oohs and the ahs, like the way that they just told the story in the ring was so amazing. And this is why these two are two of the top guys in the company. I mean, who else can take you on a ride like that in a arena full of thousands of people? Every person in that arena stayed with them throughout the entire match, and I think that's something. It's not an easy thing to do, but they did amazing at it. I thought it was great. Even what you said, Toxic, I was thinking that exactly what you said when I was seeing this. The fact that the mask was there in that picture when they did the Shield fist bump, right? I was thinking, okay, is that a symbol that, hey, Dean Ambrose used to wear this mask, so we're gonna put this mask here to kind of symbolize him, right? To pay homage to him. And you said it. See? So just the things that they do, they don't have to say anything, and we know what they're doing, you know? And that's what was so great about it.
And as cool as it would have been for Zillifa 2 to show up, this match didn't need any interference. All it needed was the two men in the ring to fully go through. That was it. That's all this match needed, and that's all it needed to provide.
And no Solo Sikoa. You know, we thought we were going to get Solo Sikoa because of what Solo told Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw when he was like, hey, I want to have your back. I want to do for you what you did for Cody. But I'm glad he didn't show up because, like you said, this main event didn't need it. It was just about Seth, Roman, and the Shield. That's what that was about. Fucking amazing main event. I'm going to remember this main event for a long time. Well, guys, SummerSlam is over officially. And what's next after this? Now the road to Money in the Bank begins, and Saturday night's the main event, right? If I'm not mistaken. All right. Well, we will be back again tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to see what's going to happen on Monday Night Raw. We got new champions, we got returns, and tomorrow should be good. The fallout of SummerSlam, we'll see what happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review of SummerSlam Night 2 with the Snug Wrestling crew. The review for Night 1 is out now on Apple and Spotify. Go check that out. Leave a star rating and a review. And we will see you guys really, really soon. Let's get out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was this episode of the Snug Wrestling Podcast where we went through SummerSlam Night 2. You can catch us every Monday directly after Monday Night Raw, Wednesday next day for NXT, and Sunday for good old Friday Night SmackDown. You've also got that Thursday one-on-one with TikTok Live with our glorious leader Snug and Mr. Blood as well. You can get your merch at tpublic.com/snug_wrestling. That is TEE public.com/snug_wrestling. Toxic. That was one time for the one time. Stay safe, stay savage, stay snug. 4 letters.
4 letters.
1 word.
1 word.
Ugh.
Yeet.